Hey, this is Steve Stine, and welcome to 5 classic Metallica riffs from the Kill 'Em All album. Okay, what we're going to be looking at are 5 riffs from the album Kill 'Em All by Metallica. Now, all these songs are great. I just chose 5 of them I thought would be kind of fun to look at. So let's take a look at the first one. Okay, so this first one is the Four Horsemen. And again, if you look up the tab or something like that, you might see some things written a little bit differently here and there than the way I play them. I'm just going to show you how I do them and break them down for you, okay? So what happens here is this starts with this main kind of chordal riff here where we're playing the 3rd fret of the 5th string, 3rd fret of the 6th string, and then the 5th fret of the 5th string, and then back to 3. So we have, okay, so a little fast chord movement there. Then we get to this next riff, and this is where the fun really begins here. So we're going to be moving back and forth between the 7 and the 5 of the 5th string. And the way I do this is I play the top 2 strings together the entire time, and it sounds like this. And what you'll notice is as I'm doing that, I'm alternate picking this. So every time I play the 7 in the 0, I'm playing a down strum. And when I play the 5 in the 0, it's an up strum. Now, the only thing that changes in here is every once in a while, they'll do this. They'll go to the 7th fret of the 6th string instead of the 7th fret of the 5th string. So it looks like this. Right there. And I'm not changing my picking. I just hit both strings the whole time. You'll notice, of course, I'm palm muting this. Okay? And what happens after that then is you got this one little lick that comes in. Right here, we're going to go. Now, right there, what I'm doing is playing 7 of the 6th string and then 5 of the 5th string. Then I'm going to do a pull off from 7 to 5. A pull off from 7 to 5 of the 4th string, then back to the 7-5 of the 5th string. So it looks like this. Okay, so let me put that whole thing together there. Okay, there's a little bit of a swing to the groove as well. It's not completely straight. Like that, you're giving it a little bit more of a bounce. Okay, now once we get to the second half, we're going to do this. We're just going to do that twice. Okay, now again, I've seen tab written differently, and it's really hard to tell exactly some of these notes because it's quite fast and really distorted, so I'm just showing you how I play it, right? So I've got... And then we start all over, and we do that whole thing over and over again. And then we move to this chordal part that goes like this. And all I'm doing there is playing 3 palm mutes of the 6th string, and then I'm going to play the E, the 5th string, or excuse me, 5th string 7th fret, excuse me. I'm going to go up to this E power chord. I'm going to play that as an up strum. Then I go down to D, 5th fret. Then I go back. Then I play 3-5, C to D. Then I start again. This time I go up to the 10th fret, which is G, back down to that E. So it looks like this. And then we go back to, and we add that back in. So that whole section looks like this, a little bit faster. again, if you use your power chords, for instance, if you're only playing 2 notes on each power chord or something like that, or using different fingers than I'm using, don't worry about it. I'm just showing you how it goes, and hopefully you can have some fun with this, okay? So putting the whole thing together. All right, moving on to the second riff, we're going to be looking at Motorbreath. And basically, this is a lot of alternate picking with some gallop kind of rhythms in there. And basically what we're doing here is we're going to play 7, 3, 5, and 2 on the 6th string. So we've got to do this rhythm that goes. So you're going. So dun da da dun da da dun da 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 da. And of course, I'm using alternate picking here. Okay, so 7, 3, 5, and then 2. It's quite fast, okay? Then when you get to the next part, you're going to be using that same kind of idea, but you're going to be using some chords in the middle. So you're going to be going. So 7 to 5, back to 7. So there we're going 7, 5, 7, dropping down to the 3 and going 3, 2, 3 like this. Then we're going to go back to the 2 and head up to that 5. Okay, so we have. And we're sliding back and forth between 5 and 3. And you'll see right there I went from the 3 back to the 2, and then I just took this finger off to get that 0 in there. So let me play the whole thing so you can see it. Okay? Now, as you're listening to the song, though, you do hear a bit of a palm mute in there. So when I did the example, I played one of them without palm muting at all, so you could hear what it sounds like, and then I played the second half with a bit of palm mute. So let me play it once all the way through without a palm mute. Which I've seen them play it without palm mute before, but if you want to do it kind of like the album, it kind of seems like you'll do the first one open and the rest of it becomes more palm muted like this. So you kind of throw the palm mute on when you get down to this 3. Now again, I wouldn't worry about that too much. Just the big thing is trying to make it sound like you hear it. Less than, exactly how I'm playing it or how the tab might tell you. Always use your ear as best you can to decide what you think makes it sound the best. What makes it sound most accurate to what you're hearing and what feels the best to you as you're playing it. Okay? So that's the beginning of Motorbreath. All right, the next riff we're going to look at is Jump in the Fire, which is kind of fun, very pentatonic. You could play this with down picking or alternate picking, whatever is most comfortable for you. But basically what you're doing here, you're going to play that little riff there, which is like a blues scale. You've got the flat 5 in there and everything. So you're playing 3, 6, 3, 4, 5, or excuse me, 3, 4, And then we're going to jump up here to the 3rd fret of the 4th string. So we have... And then we're going to turn around and play 5, 4, 3 on the 5th string. Now, when you get done with the riff, again, if you look at the tab often, you'll see that it shows it as a pull-off from 3 to 0, which might be in there. I don't really hear it, though, but that doesn't mean it might not be there. But it almost seems like if that is in there, the reason it's there is so you can get your finger back to the 3rd fret of the 6th string to start all over, like this. You see, if you do that pull-off, it gives you an opportunity to get back. I've never really heard that pull-off in there, so I've never played it that way. So what I do is when I get to this 3, I just roll back over to the 3 of the 6th string like this. See, I just move from there, and I just kind of gently slide up to the 3rd fret and start all over again. And again, because I'm taking that finger and moving it from the 3 to the 3, sometimes you're going to hear what might be considered a pull-off. I'm not really trying to make it an obvious kind of pull-off sound. Again, I think it's just something that happens when you're trying to get from 1 3 to the next. But anyway, so you're kind of aware of that. So that's the main riff that you're going to be playing, and then there's some licks in between there, some repetition. So we start off doing that lick. And then what we're going to do is we're going to play the 3rd fret of the 5th string, and then the 1st fret of the 5th string. And when I'm in the process of playing this, they wind up on up strums for me, and it doesn't mean you have to do it that way, but if you watch what I'm doing, you'll see that that's how I play it. Again, it's just comfortable for me, but that's what's happening. So then I'm going to go back. I'm going to do the same thing again, only this is where we get our first kind of little lick here. So what happens is we keep repeating this 3, 5, 4, 3 thing. So it looks like this. Sorry. And then the 3rd time we do this, we have a longer little passage. It goes like this. So we do this whole long... So let's break down what we're doing there. We're going to play 5, 3 on the 4th string, then 5 on the 5th string, back to the 3. So we have, that's your first little part. Then you're going to play 5, 4, 3 on the 5th string. So we put those two together. And then we're just going to walk up the blues scale. So we're going to play 3, 6, 3, 4, 5, 3, 5. Then we just go back to the second one that we did. It was this one. And then again. So let me play all of those put together for you so you can hear what it sounds like. Okay, so that's what the next one's going to be. That was Jump of the Fire. All right, now we're going to look at Whiplash, another really fun one off of Kill 'Em All. And basically, this is a lot of alternate picking. So the first thing is just getting comfortable with being able to do that, just alternate picking down, up with that palm mute. That's right around that speed. Might be a little bit faster, but somewhere around there. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is getting used to this little riff that goes. And there what we're doing is just heading from the 2 7s of the 5th and 4th strings to the 6s, to the 5s, and then just heading down to an E chord. Okay, so the trick here is getting from the palm muting to the riff, right? So you got to kind of jump over that string. Right there, you got to jump over and hit those 7s. Okay, so that's the first thing to try and kind of work on. See? So it's trying to get over that 6th string. Okay, now when you hit that low E power chord, you're going to start all over doing that palm muting part, and you're going to start on a down strum. So you have. So if you think about it, this E power chord that you're playing is worth, in terms of tempo, it's worth that down and the adjacent up, which we're not playing, and then you would just start palm muting again afterward. Again, the song is really fast, so you're not really thinking in terms of like 1E and a 2E or anything like that. You're just trying to. You see? So that's what that's going to be. Then you move into the next little part that goes. And at the very end, you're going to hit that G power chord, and then again, you're going to start all over on a down strum. So the G is worth a down and an up in terms of its beat. Okay, so that's a really fun one to play too, and it's great for trying to work on your alternate picking. All right, and the 5th one, and again, any of these songs could have been discussed. I mean, Hit the Lights is a great song, and Metal Militia is a great song, but I just chose 5 of them that would be kind of fun for you to play, and just kind of work out the riffs a little bit. This one's going to be Seek and Destroy, so let's look at this one. All right, so here's another one where we could probably do this all down strumming, kind of like Jump in the Fire if we wanted to. This one's going to be using the 5th string, open, and then what we're going to do is head to the 7th fret of the 3rd string. We're going to do a hammer-on from 7 to 8, and then back to the 7. So it looks like this. And then we're going to do one palm mute, and then we're going to do the same thing on the 4th string. So we have this little fill or riff here, this little guitar lick. Okay, and right there what I'm doing is playing 0, and then 8, 7, and then 5 on the 4th string and 7 on the 5th string. And then the same thing, 5 on the 3rd string and 7 on the 4th string. So it looks like this. So we have. So the zeros, the first time you play this, there's 2 palm mutes, and then the other ones afterwards are only 1. So you have. And the general idea for me is that I'm palm muting more of the 5th string, a little less of the 4th string, and none of the 3rd string when I'm doing the little lick here. And then, of course, when I end it, I'm not palm muting that either. So I'm just letting up on the palm muting a little bit as I run through that lick. These 2 first ones here, obviously you don't want those to be palm muted at all. You just want to play them. And then you end with this little. And right there, what I'm doing is playing 9 and 7 of the 3rd string, and then 9 of the 4th string back to the 7, and then 9, 8, 7, and then I slide down to the 5, and then that's the end of the little lick there. Okay, so if I put the whole thing together, it looks like this. Now, some people do pull-offs, and that's okay if you want to pick them. But it just gives you an idea. So again, some really fun, classic Metallica riffs back in the real early days of kind of formulating all these metal ideas. And it's worth checking out, see if it helps you a little bit. So take care, stay positive, and have a great day.